Hello and welcome to a new topic, interdisciplinary branches of linguistics. In this lesson, we will talk about stylistics. We'll also talk about computational linguistics. Then we will discuss about sociolinguistics, neurolinguistics, and psycholinguistics. Let's discuss each one of them in detail. Psycholinguistics. We will talk about the meaning of psycholinguistics, definition of psycholinguistics, and major branches of psycholinguistics. Psycholinguistics. The word psycholinguistics is divided into two major branches, two major parts, two major segments. Psycho and linguistics. Psycho is related to psychology. It refers to psychology. And what is psychology? It is the scientific study of human mind. How you think, what goes on in your mind, your perception about the world. But it's not only the study of human mind, but also the study of human behavior. Because what you think affects your behavior. How you think shapes your behavior. So psychologically, basically, is the study of human mind and behavior. Okay, so now we go on to the term linguistics. It is related to language, talks about language, and it is the scientific study of language, analytical study of language, how language is learned, how language is acquired, what are the systems of language, what are the elements of language, components of language. All those things are part of the study of linguistics. And together, when we combine the two words psycho and linguistics, it becomes another branch of discipline that is known as psycholinguistics. So let's talk about psycholinguistics. What is this? And the definition of psycholinguistics is a branch of a study which combines the disciplines of psychology and linguistics. This is the area of knowledge in which we see the beautiful amalgamation of the knowledge of psychology and linguistics. We have some more ideas about this concept. It explores the relationship between the human mind and language. So, human mind is the universe. It helps us form opinion. It helps us think about so many things around us. So, where does the language exist? It exists in the human mind. So, there is a deep relationship between human mind and language. We have some more ideas about it. Regards language as a product of human mind, not a product of society. Since human mind is our universe and the language exists in our mind, it does not exist according to psycholinguistics in the society. First, it originates in our mind. It is created in our mind. Perception is built in our mind. So mind is a universe. Mind is the place where language exists. You cannot go to a shop and ask, give me 1 kg of language or 5 kg of language. Language does not exist in the shop. It's not sold in the shop. So where does it actually exist? It exists in the mind. That is why, point of view of psycholinguistics, it is a product of human mind. Language is the creation of human mind. Language is a consequence of human thinking. Language is the result of human thinking process. Therefore, it is a product of human mind. It is not a product of society. Psycholinguistics negates that society has any major effect on learning a language. And when I say language is not a product of society, that is to say, it is a part of sociolinguistics. In contrast, sociolinguistics asserts it is a product of human social relationships. We have some more ideas. It believes that linguistic competence is determined by the way human mind works. How we think affects the way we speak. How our mind works influences the way we express our ideas to the world. So linguistic competence is completely decided by the way our mind thinks, by the way we perceive the world, by the way we conceptualize things. So therefore, psycholinguistics has a different angle to look at language, to study language. We have 5 major areas of psycholinguistics. This will help you understand why we say language is a product of human mind. The first one is language processing. The second one is language storage. The third one is language comprehension. The fourth one is language brain. And the fifth one is language acquisition. Let's talk about each one of them in brief. Language processing. What is this? Language processing itself suggests that how language is processed in the mind. What exactly goes on when we listen, when we speak, when we read, and when we write. Then we have language storage. That is to say, how is language stored in our mind? How is it saved in our memory? How does we retrieve whenever we want it? How we keep the information safe in the mind? That is about language storage. And then we have language comprehension. How is meaning constructed? How is meaning derived? How do we form the opinions? How are concepts formed? This is the study of language comprehension. Then we have language brain, that is to say language and brain. In other words, we can say neurolinguistics, connection, deep relationship between the language and the brain. Where does brain store linguistic and semantic concepts? Whatever we receive, where do they go? How does brain save all such information about linguistic and semantic concepts? And the last one is language acquisition, that is to say, how do infants come to acquire first language? Infants, when they grow up and reach the age of 6 months and 7 months, they start speaking the language without having wider social connections. How do they speak? What factors contribute? So these are some of the major areas of psycholinguistics. I hope you have understood the major concept of what psycholinguistics is all about. What is neurolinguistics? Neurolinguistics, the term is divided into two segments, neuro and linguistics. The first one is neuro, and it refers to brain. It is related to brain. It is linked to brain. It is also related to nerve and nervous system. So when we talk about brain, we talk about nerve and nervous system, because without which the brain cannot function. And the area of this is known as neuroscience. And what is neuroscience? The scientific study of the nervous system, brain, and the spinal cord, their functions and disorders, is known as neuroscience. Now we have the word linguistics, and as you know, it is related to language, and the scientific study of language is known as linguistics. That is how neurolinguistics is combined with the help of these two different disciplines, brain and language. Neurolinguistics, let's explain further about this concept. It is relatively a new branch of linguistics. Actually, neurolinguistics earlier started in the field of psychology, and from psychology we have imported it into the field of linguistics. Anyway, it's a relatively a new branch of linguistics. Nothing more to explain. It's very much clear. It studies how brain works to process language system, how brain functions in processing the language system. It examines the relationship between brain mechanisms and language, leading to insights into how language is processed. That is to say, we are talking about language processing. How language is acquired. That means it refers to language acquisition. And how language is impaired. It refers to language impairment, known as aphasia. Aphasia is a branch of neurolinguistics in which we study the disorder of language. Something goes wrong in the brain, or brain is damaged, one may suffer from language disorder. This area of a study is known as aphasia. That's why we call it language impairment. So neurolinguistics look at these three different aspects of language: language processing, language acquisition, and language impairment. They are very important in the field of neurolinguistics. Now we continue our discussion. In simple terms, neurolinguistics explores how our brain handles different aspects of language. And what are the different aspects of language? We have listening, speaking, reading, and writing. One more thing here I would like to add is that the neuroscience especially is a very neutral term. It is not influenced by theories of language. Brain and the mechanism of brain and how it works is a pure science. It is not to be influenced by any theory of language. It works independently, and how it functions, how it observes the system of language in the brain, how it processes, how it delivers, all works independently without the influence of any outside field of study. It's a pure science test your knowledge till the point I have expressed my views regarding neurolinguistics. The first one is neurolinguistics is the study of sentence structure and word meanings without any relation to brain. Is it true or false? Please think about it, and the answer is false. We go on to the next question. Neurolinguistics is an interdisciplinary field that examines the relationship between brain mechanisms and language. Think about this question, whether it's true or false, and it's of course true. Go to the question number 3. Neurolinguistics identifies the neural basis of language disorders. Think about it And of course, the answer is here, and that's true. Now we have the next question. Neurolinguistics focuses on body language and non-verbal communication. Is it true or false? Of course it's false. And the last one is, neurolinguistics is a branch of psychology that deals with how people judge different dialects of a language. Is it true or false? And of course it's false. So these are some of the ideas about what is neurolinguistics, meaning of neurolinguistics, definition of neurolinguistics. In my next lesson, I will talk about characteristics and other aspects of neurolinguistics. Sociolinguistics. We will talk about meaning of sociolinguistics, definitions, explanations, and major areas. Let's discuss each one of them in detail. The first one is meaning of sociolinguistics. The word sociolinguistics is made up of two words, socio and linguistics. The word socio refers to society, and the word linguistics, it refers to language. By society, we mean a group of people who are drawn together for a certain purpose or purposes. And language, it means a system of linguistic communication particular to a group. And this linguistic communication includes spoken, written, and signed modes of communication. Thus, we can say that sociolinguistics is about a society must have a language or languages in which to carry out its purposes. In short, or in brief, a study of relationship between language and society is known as sociolinguistics. Definitions of sociolinguistics. Sociolinguistics, it attempts to identify the social functions of language. We have another point. It is concerned with the social meaning of life. Let's have some more ideas. It studies the relationship between language and society. In other way, it is about the language in society and not beyond. Explanations of sociolinguistics. Sociolinguistics as social functions of language. What is that? It means the ways in which language is used in the society. It is to convey social meaning of life. We should know that examining the way people use language in different social contexts provides a wealth of information about the way language works. It helps us to understand the social relationships of people in a community, in a social group. It guides us the way people convey and construct aspects of their social identity through language. We have some more ideas with the same social view of language. Sociolinguistics is to view the world around you, how people speak language, how they use language, and how they say the same things in different ways, and so on. In fact, sociolinguistics is about the ways in which we are addressed by our close friends and family members. In short, it is about the study of ideas in which societal norms are intertwined with our language use. It is to study the deep relationship between language and society in more specific ways. We continue with some more ideas. Basic premise of sociolinguistics is that language is variable and changing. It is not static. As a result, language is not homogeneous, not the same at the same time, at the same place. It keeps changing. That is the idea here. It is not for the individual user only. It is for the society, for the group, for the community. Thus, variation is the key concept in the field of sociolinguistics. And this variation leading to the idea of variety in language. And this variety in language takes you to major branches of sociolinguistics. Variation at the level of individual, we refer it to idiolect. Variation at the level of society, sociolect. Variation at the level of region, dialect. Variation at the level of profession, register. Variation at the level of social prestige, standard language. Variation at the level of non-schooling, non-standard language. So these are some of the major branches of sociolinguistics: idiolect, sociolect, dialect, register, standard, and non-standard. Computational linguistics, CL. We will talk about meaning of computational linguistics, explanation, goals, and branches of computational linguistics. Let's move and talk each one of them in detail. The first one is introduction. Have you ever wondered how Alexa, Google, and Siri can listen and respond to you? Or how a customer service chatbot knows how to respond to your requests. That's computational linguistics at work. Computational linguistics, CL, is what powers anything in a machine or device that has to do with language, speaking, writing, reading, and listening. Here, what I mean to say is that computational linguistics is all about human interaction with the machine. We continue our discussion, that is to say, synonym terms associated with computational linguistics, CL. We have NLP. We also call it natural language processing. We have LE, language engineering. We have LI, language industry. We have HLT, human language technologies. We have LT, language technologies. All of them are in some way or another very much similar to what we call computational linguistics. They are not exactly the same, or they cannot replace computational linguistics, but the area of computational linguistics includes more or less all of these terms. Okay, now we continue our discussion. That is to say, what do we mean by computational linguistics? CL in brief. The science of computers dealing with language. The science of computers communicating with human language. Communicating with you is computational linguistics. The main task of computational linguistics is just the construction of computer programs to process words and texts in natural language. We have some more ideas about the term CL. Computational linguistics includes the disciplines dealing with models, methods, technologies, systems, and applications concerning the automatic processing of a language, both spoken and written. And in fact, computational linguistics CL applies computer science to analyze and comprehend written and spoken language. So these are some of the basic ideas what we mean by computational linguistics. We continue our discussion. Goals of computational linguistics. What does it want to attain and achieve? Let's talk about to enhance communication. Computational linguistics helps us enhance communication. And you can see how in modern time through technology, the communication is not only widened but improved, enhanced in a much better way. We have the next point, to revolutionize language technology. And in modern time, revolution of language technology. We have so many ways and means through which language can be communicated to elevate human-computer interaction. Now, the level of human-computer interaction has elevated to another level, highest level. We have now robots talking to the humans because humans now they are too busy, they don't have time. So there are people spending more time with technology or communicating with technology in a human way. We have to translate text from one language to another. Of course, computational linguistics, in fact, it started in the very beginning with the intention of translating text from one language to another. To generate information related to a specific topic, anything you want, you just type in the search box and you get the specific information about the thing you want to know. And to create grammatical and semantic frameworks for characterizing languages. So computational linguistics also shapes the way computer understand the language, the grammatical structure, and the semantic framework through which communication between human and computer can be made more accessible, more friendly, and more comprehensible. That is the idea. We continue our discussion. Why is computational linguistics important? Is it really important? Of course, it's very important, particularly in modern time. Computational linguistics, CL, is important because today humans are using technology to develop tools for completing tasks more efficiently, without any error, in a much better way, in a faster manner. We continue with our discussion. Computational linguistics translates languages such as Chinese to English using computers. Of course, we just talked about this point. It supports customer service, such as when you try to refund a product with a chatbot or find information quickly with the help of Siri on iPhones. So most of the multinational companies, they have customer service, and it is with the help of computational linguistics, the chatbot interacts with you, tries to understand your problems, address your problems, and then gives you solutions at the end. We have some more ideas about, we continue our discussion, major branches of computational linguistics. And what are they? The first one is machine translation. What does it mean? What does it do? This is the process of using AI, artificial intelligence, to translate one human language to another, such as from Chinese to English. And the example we can have, Google Translate is a good example. Not only Google Translate, there are a number of applications, softwares which can help us translate from one language to another. All those applications can be included under the category of machine translation. We have another, chatbots. What do? These software or computer programs simulate human conversation or chatter through text or voice interactions. And what are the examples? Many companies such as Amazon and Verizon have live chat available alongside phone and email options. We have another one, knowledge extraction. How to extract knowledge? Creating knowledge from unstructured and structured text sources. And an example is Wikipedia, which is the product of random editors and can be used to train and open information extractors precision and recall. At any time when you want any type of information, you just type in the search box and Wikipedia will provide you the information. That is what we call you extract information. So knowledge extraction. Not only Wikipedia, Google search can also be one of the examples of extracting knowledge or information. We continue. Natural language interface. What is that? These types of tools allow humans to interact with our devices' operating systems using spoken words. We speak to Apple devices, Siri. We speak to what we call Amazon devices, Alexa, and they are ready for you to answer and at your call and at your service. Examples include Siri and Alexa. Not only Siri and Alexa, we have also Google Assistant, and I think Microsoft also has this kind of facility. Then we have sentiment analysis. What is this? This is a type of natural language processing, NLP, that identifies emotional tone in text or spoken language. And what is the example? Grammarly, an example of sentiment analysis. Grammarly is an application. When you write something, they can improve your tone, your style, your emotions. Overall, your way of writing and expression is improved up to the professional level. So you can see how computational linguistics is going to be one of the most important branches in modern time, and I think future belongs to it. Stylistics. We will talk about meaning of stylistics, definition, explanation, purpose, and branches of stylistics. Let's talk each one of them in detail. The first one is meaning of stylistics. The word stylistics could be divided into three different segments. The first one is style, and you know what is the meaning of style, way of expression. The second one is stick. It refers to belonging to, relating to, and we have the letter S. It refers to science, and together if we combine all these three, it becomes stylistics, which means science of a style, art of a style, discipline of a style, way of expression, way of writing something like this. We continue our discussion. We have now definition of stylistics. The first definition is stylistics is a method of textual interpretation in its various forms, patterns, and levels of linguistic structures. We have another definition. Stylistics is interested in language as a function of texts in context. And the third one is stylistics is the linguistic study of a style. We continue our discussion. Now we have explanation of stylistics. How do we explain it? Let's see. Stylistics is an interdisciplinary branch of linguistics. We have another point. It talks all about style in language. We have some more ideas. In fact, it is all about the way we use language to talk or write. Some more ideas to share. It is all about the way we make choices. Choices about what? About the words we use, and this refers to lexical choice, and the order in which we use them, and this refers to syntactic structure. We continue our discussion about explanation of stylistics. In short, it refers to style in a spoken and written language. Stylistics explores how authors create effects through their linguistic styles and how readers interpret those effects. The preferred object of study in stylistics is literature. Why? Because literature has the possibility of immense creativity, of immense possibility of innovation in language use. We continue our discussion about purpose of stylistics. Why should we learn stylistics? It thereby enriches our ways of thinking about language. It helps us understand various styles of writings. It informs us about innumerable possibilities to express the same things in different ways. Now we have major branches of stylistics. The first one is literary stylistics. What is this? What does it mean? It refers to science of analyzing the language of literature. We have the second one, lexical stylistics. It is about linguistic study of words. We have now comparative stylistics. It is to study the stylistic characteristics of one language in comparison with those of another one. We have now grammatical stylistics. It is to study style of sentence structure in which parts of a sentence, for example, subject, verb, and object, are arranged. We have now functional stylistics. It studies functional varieties of the literary language determined by specific spheres and aims of communication. Further, we can say it intends to fulfill a specific function of communication and aiming at a definite effect. Do you understand the concept? Thank you and goodbye.